Faculty, let's set your grade books up for the semester in Ultra. Once you're in the gradebook tab, you can be in any one of these tabs. It doesn't matter as long as you can find this icon. This is your gear, your settings, and this indicates to you that there's something that you can change, edit, update so that it is more in line with the way that you teach and assess. We're going to start off with managing your grade schema. So if this is the grading scale or schema that you use, then my friend, you are finished with this particular part of the grade book. But if you are someone who has a different way of assigning letter grades, then you're going to add a new schema. Here's one that I created. And the reason that I added this is because I prefer to round up after a 0.5%. And so I had to indicate that to the grading scale so that it would know that anytime a student earned an 89.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, it would round up to a 90% and therefore award the student an A- for the class. Just something to think about. You add your schema the way it makes sense to you. Under student performance, you can set up alerts so that anytime the student's grade is below or equal to a 69%, or in English Comp it would be a 75%, that would alert that there's something that we need to do to help that student to regain their traction. You can also identify a certain number of days if they haven't been accessing Blackboard, and so on. The course activity, this is actually going to be where your students are submitting grades, so there's nothing here yet. And for me, I like to default to automatic zeros for past due work. If a student hasn't submitted something and a 0 immediately goes in, it gives them a sense of what their grade will look like if they choose not to complete that assignment. So I leave that checked. Now, overall grade settings, this is a really important one. This is what you want to do for your calculations. So the advanced category is one that frankly I just don't really understand, and if you would like to talk about it, I would be happy to do some research to find out more about it. But none of this really makes sense to me, and if it does to you, then maybe I will ask you how to do it. There are points and weighted calculations other than the advanced, and the points are exactly as they sound. So within the point system, you can still create and assign categories, and the real benefit of this, if you're going on a point system where everything is just assigned points and then the whole total grade will be however many points they have over however many points total are available. The benefit of categories is that when you're in the grade book proper, where you're seeing all of their grades, you can filter to just specific categories. So you could say, I only want to look at the journals and see how these students are doing on the journals. So that would be the benefit of categories. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that there are some established categories, like for example, exam, form, homework, journal. These are all standard with Blackboard and cannot be eliminated. You can zero them out so they don't cost anything, but you can't delete them. It's very annoying, I agree. So the other way that you could do your gradebook is weighted, and this is how I'm setting my gradebook up. And there are two ways to weigh the items within the category. So I only have 4 categories, and within them, I want for everything to earn the amount of points that it is given. So for example, if I have them do a pre-writing assessment or pre-writing draft, and that's worth 10 points, I don't want that to be weighted the same as the essay itself, which might be worth 100 points. So within the category, if something is graded proportionally, it's essentially weighted within the weights. It's given more weight. If you want everything, no matter what they're doing, to be equally graded, no matter how big or small the assignment, that's when you would click on equally. And likewise, if you have any assignments that you want weighted separately outside of the categories, you can also do that by just dragging the assignment out of, or excuse me, just unlinking the assignment, and then it's all of a sudden out here. Now, if I were to assign points to this, 10%, it is going to yell at me because the total must equal 100%. At the bottom here, you'd be able to see, oh, this is 110%, and even though that sounds very nice in the whole effort thing, that's not mathematically correct. So we are going to have to figure out another way to make it so that this assignment would be able to be worth something. But I'm going to put it back in with the discussion. Okay, then you're going to save. Now, the one thing I do want to say before we leave this area is this grade settings over here. This is where you're going to select your grade schema or how you're going to display the grades. So letter makes sense, like I want them to see their letter grade, but that's not my grading schema. This one is. So I'm going to make sure this is selected and that they're seen, that the students are able to see them. So when we come back out here, you can manage the gradebook items. This is where you have instructor visibility, student, you can tell whether the students have visibility, and this will be your whole entire list of everything that you have to be able to be graded. And the last thing I want to mention before we conclude is grade categories. So when we were talking about the overall grade management and you had the option of doing weighted or points or the advanced for the really smart people, this is where you can add categories to those weighted categories or those point categories. And so I just added some. The only downfall is that if you add a new one, it just has this weird blank boring document kind of image, where the other ones have nice fun images that you can see. You can also, create course rubrics. If you use the same rubric for everything, you can create, or you can let AI generate, and I'll do another video on that. And if there's anything else that you have questions about with regard to the gradebook, please let us know. I'd be happy to walk you through it or make another video. Thanks a lot.